about the motive behind the shooting. So how do you think the information today from prosecutors is further shaping these assessments that people are making?
Well, so, of course, we have to remind everyone that right now these are still charges, and Robinson will have an opportunity to defend himself in court. But many had already made up their minds about his motive last week, especially after Utah Governor Spencer Cox shared that Robinson had a romantic partner. In announcing the charges today, suggest that Robinson targeted Kirk because of the conservative activist anti-trans views. But since the weekend, several prominent Republicans are making claims about violence in the left that are quite sweeping and without evidence. Well, yesterday, White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller spoke with Vice President J.D. Vance, who is guest hosting Charlie Kirk's podcast. And there, Miller said certain left-wing groups were behind attacks on ICE officers or had incited riots. Earlier today, much the same Republican Senator Ted Cruz in a hearing with FBI Director Kash Patel. Cruz encouraging Patel to, quote, follow the money. He stated, again, without evidence, that he believes certain funders are paying, in these words, significant money that is spreading dissension and spreading violence. He specifically focused on the Antifa movement and said he wants it designated as a terrorist organization. And he said he wants to see penal laws amended to facilitate those investigations.
You've covered political violence and extremism for a long time. Given what you know so far about this shooting, how do you think it's the best
You know, there are many at synagogues, churches, Walmarts, grocery stores, many places. Given the allegations bear out here, this would represent a significant escalation of violence from what's perceived as the political left.
That is actually
The military says it's begun a new large-scale offensive in Gaza City. Israeli attacks have killed more than 70 people in the city since midnight, according to hospital reports. Palestinian rescue crews say families are trapped under rubble. NPR's Ava Traui is covering this from her base in Dubai and warning there will be sounds of gunfire in this report. Ava, what can you tell us about Israel's push into Gaza City today?
Well, the military began operating on the edges of Gaza City about 2 months ago, and it is now pushing for the center, which is right up.
I guess we're not going to the lake, dude. It's closed.
So the Israeli military
I don't know why.
has at least 15 high-rise towers in the city center,
That's
saying
bullshit.
Hamas uses these buildings for their operations. Hamas says this is a lie.
Park
that
is
Israel
closed.
can't push people out of Gaza entirely. Now, as of last week, Gaza City was estimated by the UN to be sheltering around 1 million people. That's half of the Gaza Strip's total population. But Israel's military says that several 100,000 people have fled to the south, many of them on foot or using donkey carts in just the past few days. Now, NPR can't independently verify that figure, but there are still hundreds of thousands of people in Gaza City, and many of them in areas that are being heavily bombarded. NPR reporter Anas Balba is among those in Gaza City, and he captured what it sounds like there. Have a listen. So that was first the sound of helicopter gunfire, and then you also heard the sound of artillery there.
Now, what has the Israeli military said about the operation and how long it could take?
So the Israeli military spends a large portion of about 15 months of this war raiding Gaza City, shutting down hospitals there, and cutting it off physically from the middle and south of Gaza. And the people who stayed put faced starvation during that siege. And as Israel was preparing for this operation in Gaza City again, UN-backed experts on hunger declared a famine in Gaza City. So there's a famine there now, according to them. Now, Israel intends to keep control of Gaza City and maintain its occupation this time. They say they plan to dismantle tunnel networks there, but it has not answered questions on how long they think it could take to conquer and occupy the city. Israel's prime minister says this is a decisive moment in the war. Now, former top Israeli military generals say there could be thousands of Hamas fighters in the city, and that sets the stage for a high death toll among all who stay. Israeli military spokesman Avi Defrin laid out the operation's goals to reporters today.
Hamas continues to the dozens of our lives in human conditions. Their safe return is a very important foundation.
But here's the thing, Ari, the families of those 20 hostages believed to still be alive in Gaza who were taken in the Hamas-led attack on Israel nearly 2 years ago want a ceasefire, not more war. They are concerned expensive will endanger their lives, and some of them protested last night in front of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's home.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio is in this Tuesday in Jerusalem, where he expressed continued U.S. support for Israel's war, and then flew to Qatar today, which has been a mediator in the war. What can you tell us about where ceasefire efforts stand after Israel's attack a week ago on Hamas targets in Qatar?
Well, that attack, as we said, targeted senior Hamas political leaders in Doha, Qatar, killing 6 people, but none of them senior. Now, Doha and Cairo, where Hamas and Israel have been holding indirect talks throughout the past nearly 2 years of war. Talks that freed most of the hostages who returned to Israel alive, more than 140 of them. Now, Qatar's ruler told the Arab and Muslim heads of state that had convened in Doha in a show of support last night that it is impossible to negotiate with Israel after it bombed his country. Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani said Israel doesn't want a ceasefire, that it attacked negotiators and the mediator, thwarting the talks in order to continue its quote extermination of Gaza. Rubio flew to Qatar today to try to encourage Qatar to continue its role as a mediator. But when Rubio stood with Netanyahu yesterday in Jerusalem, Netanyahu said that attack on Qatar sends a message to Hamas that they will be pursued. So there are no talks, only this deadly offensive now going forward.
That's NPR's Ava Traui in Dubai. Thank you.
Thanks, sorry.
Today is a pretty remarkable day if you are into math, like reporter Ari Daniel is, who says we only get a day like this once every 100 years. We made him show his work.
Colin Adams is a mathematician at Williams College who first told me of the multiple reasons that make today, 9/16/25, so special.
The first is that all 3 of the entries in that date are perfect squares. And what I mean by that is 9 is just equal to 3 squared, 16 is equal to 4 squared, and 25 is equal to 5 squared.
Plus, those perfect squares come from consecutive numbers, 3, 4, and 5.
And that's more special.
But perhaps most special of all is that 3, 4, and 5 are an example of a Pythagorean triple.
And what that means is that if I take the sum of the squares of the first 2 numbers, 3 squared plus 4 squared, which is 9 plus 16, is equal to 25, which is 5 squared. So 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared.
Sound familiar? This is the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared.
The most famous theorem in all of mathematics.
It's a theorem that also means something geometrically. Any Pythagorean triple, including 3, 4, and 5, also gives you the lengths of 3 sides of a right triangle. There are no other dates this century that meet all these conditions, so most of us will experience it just once in our lifetime.
If it were me making it up, I would call it Pythagorean triple square day.
Adams plans on celebrating with a rectangular cake cut along the diagonal to yield 2 right triangles.
Probably in the middle, we'll put the date, 9/16/25.
This date is hiding one of the most beautiful coincidences we will ever encounter. They tell a story that goes back to ancient Greece.
Terrence Blackman chairs the math department at Medgar Evers College. He says the Pythagorean theorem is used all the time by carpenters and architects, but for him, as a mathematician, today's the features of special elegance.
It is some kind of mathematical poetry that is sitting there, just like walking and coming upon a beautiful flower.
Blackman says that in a world that can feel chaotic, a day like today reminds us that math can be a source of comfort.
It reminds us that beauty and meaning can be found anywhere and everywhere, and we just have to continue to look for it.
For NPR News, I'm Ari Daniel.
You're listening to All Things Considered from NPR News. Support for NPR comes from BritBox, committed to helping viewers to see it differently with British TV, with new original series like Code of...
Hey.
That's okay. He's friendly.
Yeah, she's friendly.
All right. You want to say hi, Carlo?
Sweet enough.
Yeah. Good boy. All right. See you guys.
I'll see ya.
Hey, go ahead, bro. Hey.
Hello.
What's up, buddy? Hey, Carlo, get out of there. What's up, buddy? Hey, what's up?
Oh, sorry. Are you recording your dog?
Yeah.
Why?
Documenting his life. He's not going to be around forever. Huh?
Are you serious?
Yeah?
Oh, you have a TikTok thing?
No, just for my personal use.
Okay.
Hey, how's it going? What's your dog's name?
Louis.
What's up, Louie? It's a big boy. Louie. It's like that song, Louie. Louie. Carlo, come on, buddy. What's up, buddy? Say hi to all your friends. Good boy, Carlo. Hey, buddy. What's up, buddy? You want to say hi? Good boy. Hey, you're in my way, fool.
Oh my God.